Well, again, welcome everybody to my first State of the City address. It's a little bit intimidating and even more so with the crowd out there, but hopefully you'll bear with me. I just want to take a minute to thank Stan Tate, who is our DJ for the day. Really appreciate it, Stan. Thank you, and thank you for the introduction. It's my pleasure to welcome you, as I said, to my first State of the City event. As you all know, my name is Mark Elkins, and I was honored to be elected as mayor in November of 2023 and sworn into office on January 2nd, 2024. So I've been your mayor for just a little over 2 months now, and the fire hose, thanks to the fire department, is continuing to pump right into my brain, and hopefully some of it is actually hanging in there. 2023 was certainly an eventful year in the life of our city. We celebrated our 75th anniversary in October and saw the retirement of 4 longtime public servants, as well as the introduction of a number of new leaders in our professional staff. Nonetheless, our city once again enjoyed an exceptional year. The state of the city is strong, and we have a lot to cover today. But first, I want to acknowledge that our success as a city is a result of a unique collaboration of 3 important and interested groups: our elected officials, our exceptional professional staff, and our amazing group of citizen volunteers. First, Leawood's vision is the result of a talented group of residents that have offered themselves up to the electorate. I am very pleased to introduce 5 veteran city council members who were joined in January on the Leawood City Council by 3 newly elected officials. Please hold your applause until I've recognized all of our council members. We have with us longtime council member Deborah Fillo from Ward 1, and joining her in Ward 1 is newly elected Alan Sunkel. Mary Larson, she used to think that she was the newest on the city council, not true anymore, but a seasoned city council member from Ward 2, who is joined by my friend Sherry Gayed, who served with me on the Planning Commission and was newly elected as well to Ward 2. Mary, Sherry, please stay. And if you could all stay standing, I know it's a long time to stand because there are a lot of you, but if you could all stay standing, I would be grateful. Chuck Sipple has been a council person from Ward 3, and he is joined by his longtime colleague Lisa Harrison from Ward 3, who was just re-elected to another term. And then we have, of course, Julie Kane from Ward 4, who's joined by Dr. Stephen Castor, newly elected but not a stranger to our city council, as he's been here once. Work took him away, and we're pleased that he's back with us, and obviously the electorate was as well. So if you would join me in welcoming these public servants, I would be grateful. The second leg of the 3-legged stool that supports the success of the city is a collection of exceptional professionals who work every day to translate the vision and crazy ideas of the governing body into the municipal programs and services that distinguish Leawood as an amazing place to live, work, shop, and play. Would all of the city staff who are with us today please stand and be recognized? And I know there's a bunch of you, so don't be bashful. Yeah, even you firefighters. The firefighters always have the best equipment. My grandson loves it, and they're the last ones to stand up. But and I will tell you that in a collaboration between Parks and the Fire Department and Park Place, they did an amazing job on Sunday of hosting a show and tell, which my grandchildren just absolutely loved. So again, thank you for the reach out to the community. We really appreciate that. Last, Leawood is blessed to have citizens who have taken the challenge of servant leadership to heart by volunteering on the nearly 20 commissions and committees that partner with the city staff to make our city what it is. Would all the volunteers in the audience please stand and be recognized? And John Walczyk, you're a new volunteer, so stand up too. The city of Leawood is fortunate to have so many talented individuals working to make Leawood a premier community. We really are second to none. I want to personally thank all of you, staff, volunteers, and elected officials, for your hard work and dedication to the city of Leawood. 2023 was marked with many national and international headlines. News coverage included the coronation of a new King and Queen of England, the incredible rise and success of Taylor Swift, for all you Swifties out there, a second consecutive Super Bowl win by our Kansas City Chiefs, and various political stories from both sides of the aisle. I would be remiss, however, if I didn't mention the war in Israel, which is nearing its 5th month. As many of you know, one of Leawood's sister cities is the Gezer region of Israel, which is located between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. We were all shocked to see the horrific events play out before our very eyes last October. In my first week as mayor, we were pleasantly surprised and thankful to welcome the mayor of the Gezer region country, Rotem Yadlin, and Carmel Tall, the chief executive officer of the Gezer Regional Council, essentially their city administrator, to visit us in Leawood. Mayor Yadlin gave a very personal and compelling presentation on the effects of that war is having on her community, and her and Carmel's efforts to continue to deliver municipal services in a time of war. It was certainly humbling to those of us from the city staff who listened to Carmel and Rotem as they talked about things like providing law enforcement and fire protection when their professional fire and police departments had left to go to the war zone. She also showed her gratitude to Leawood for the $25,000 donation our governing body approved in December of 2023. Those efforts have helped construct a safe room at a local preschool in the Gezer region. And in Gezer, the mayor is not only responsible for the city or the municipality, but also for the school district. And it was not until that safe room built with our funds was complete that Mayor Yadlin felt comfortable reopening the preschool. So again, that's what sister cities are all about. Mayor Yadlin's message of how resilience, community, and service have helped her community cope and manage a very dark and troubled time was inspiring. Her leadership and dedication to her family and her community is to be commended during the unimaginable situation. I wish Mayor Yadlin and the people of the Gezer region the very best as they continue to deal with this very difficult situation, and hope that in the near future we'll be able to resume exchange visits between the people of Gezer, Israel, and Leawood. But 2 weeks ago, we were forced to realize that the epidemic of violence is also an issue much closer to home, and we all felt the thrill of a second consecutive Chiefs Super Bowl become the horror of gunfire at Union Station. Having said this, at this time, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for those, both Israeli and Palestinian, affected by the war in Israel, and for our friends and neighbors, including the family of Lisa Lopez Galvin, who were impacted by the terrible events at Union Station. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers. As tragic as these events were, however, they served as a reminder of how fortunate we are to live in a city that is safe for our residents and their families. SafeWise, a national publication that tracks crime across the country, reported that Leawood secured the top spot as the safest Kansas City with a population of over 10,000 in its annual report on municipal safety. Additionally, the most recent crime index released by the Kansas Bureau of Investigation revealed that Leawood's violent crime rate of 1.3 per 1,000 citizens is the lowest of all cities in Johnson County, with a population exceeding 5,000. We were also very pleased that there were zero homicides in our city during the past year. These are very impressive numbers and something we can all be proud of. But you know, violent crime is not the only threat that we face in this day and age. With the advent of an internet-driven economy and smart devices permeating everyday life, criminals have also entered the 21st century to victimize our residents. Unfortunately, cyber fraud has become a threat to all of us, including those of us living in Leawood. As a result, we all have to be wary of scams that were unheard of just a few years ago, such as the Nigerian Prince scheme or phishing attacks. That's phishing, PH. Here in Leawood, however, we are tremendously fortunate to have a police department that is on the cutting edge of defending us all from these modern-day criminals who attack us without ever being near us. In 2023, our police department had unparalleled success in protecting Leawood citizens from cyber crimes. In late October, Detective Mark T-Rink was able to trace a Leawood victim's money stolen in an internet scam through several cybersecurity clearinghouses until it landed in an account registered in Nigeria, of all places. Working with the Johnson County District Attorney's Office and international law enforcement contacts, Detective T-Rink recovered the Leawood victim's money, more than $10,000, and identified a suspect. The suspect was later arrested and confessed to Nigerian detectives and is incarcerated today. That's just unheard of for the reach to reach that far. Throughout 2023, Detective T-Rink was also able to retrieve more than $127,000 in cyber cryptocurrency stolen in cyber scams and $1.6 million initially lost in a fraudulent wire transfer. It's amazing that a police department in a city our size has that kind of expertise. Detective T-Rink is with us here today, and I would ask him to stand and be recognized for his outstanding work and service to our community. Thank you, Detective T-Rink. And the other thing that you all should know is that he is pretty much self-taught in this area, seeing an unmet need in our community and using a lot of his own time to learn the intricacies of the way money flows around the world in this age of cyber security. In addition to fighting crime, the police department continued to prioritize proactive community engagement in 2023. They actively participated in near 100 community engagement programs, including the annual open house, the Citizens Police Academy, the Fishing Derby for Kids, and hosted several blood drive events. And again, if you've got children or grandchildren, be looking for these open houses. My grandkids loved watching the drones fly, and our drone pilots do an amazing job. Our police department also became one of the first departments in Kansas to obtain formal accreditation through the Kansas Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. Last, the department welcomed a second mental health co-responder to assist with calls related to mental health issues. Our police department is truly at the cutting edge of law enforcement, recognizing, among other things, cyber crimes and the need for mental health assistance, and we're grateful to them. Leawood's safety, however, does not end with the police department. We are also blessed by an extraordinary fire department. Leawood Fire Chief Colin Fitzgerald, who actually is not here today because he's helping a fire department in Florida with its accreditation, and his group of professionals had many reasons to celebrate in 2023. First and foremost, they maintained their designation as an internationally accredited agency, one of only 315 out of nearly 30,000 fire departments in the U.S. They also reconfirmed their Insurance Services Office rating of 1, making them one of only 114 departments in the U.S. that have both accreditation and ISO 1. Now, while these department accreditations are significant to our firefighters and our department, they also have a direct impact on each of us in the form of making the lowest possible fire insurance premiums available to our city's residences and businesses because of the top work and the preparation that our fire department has done. In addition to the department's accreditation, Mike Hoffine received Chief Fire Officer designation, and Travis Bloomingdale received Fire Officer designation by the Commission on Professional Credentialing, bringing our Leawood Fire Department total to 22. All Leawood Fire Department company officers are now credentialed, a feat that no other local department in Johnson County has accomplished. In addition, last year, Mayor Dunn mentioned the groundbreaking of Fire Station Number 1. Today, I'm happy to report that as of December 7th, 2023, The firefighters have moved into the new station at 96th and Lee Boulevard. Be on the lookout for an invite to a public open house this spring. It's a beautiful station. I was privileged to join the Leawood Community Foundation this week in a tour of this station that is designed to last us for the next 50 years. And we very much appreciate the community support for this much-needed upgrade. In fact, the fire station that this one replaced is still physically present. It has been there since nearly the beginning of Leawood, so it's in the 60 to 65-year-old range now. So a new upgrade was definitely due. In spite of all this activity, the department found time to provide CPR training to nearly 800 people. 3 firefighters completed paramedic licensure, and the department was heavily involved in response and recovery from a squall line of storms that you all will remember blew through North Leawood on July 14, resulting in a presidential disaster declaration. If for no other reason, you all would remember that for the first time we had home generators spun up all over Ward 1, and we found out just why it was that so many of our residents were interested in the local the home generators. While all these activities are impressive, the bottom line is that our fire department saves lives. Just in the last month, our fire department was called to a local restaurant where a patron was found incapacitated. People on scene believed that the patron was the victim of a food allergy and was not breathing. When our crew arrived, they quickly determined that the real issue was a chunk of food that was lodged so deep in the patron's airway that it could not be removed by the Heimlich maneuver that had been attempted before they got there. Our crew was able to dislodge the food and resuscitate the patient's breathing such that he elected not to even be transported to the hospital for care. That crew included Fire Captain Jake Williams, Master Firefighter 3 Dean Wassel, and Master Firefighter Adam Griffith, who are all here with us today. Can you all stand and please be recognized? Again, our fire department consists of a number of many dedicated professionals who are generally very reluctant to step forward, and we wanted to be sure and recognize them today. Given all of this activity, it only seems appropriate that Leawood's Employee of the Year should come from the fire department. I am pleased to introduce Master Firefighter Paramedic Brooke Hershaw as our special guest and our 2023 Employee of the Year. Her nomination stated, Brooke has consistently demonstrated exceptional dedication, hard work, and a commitment to excellence. Her contributions have set a high standard for professionalism and achievement that we strive to throughout the city of Leawood. Brooke, thank you for your commitment to excellence and being a true servant leader in our community. Will you please stand and be recognized? And I might add, I don't think she'll mind me saying this, that Brooke joined us today right in the middle of moving her brand new family to a new home. So we appreciate, again, the commitment that you showed at the city, even to receive the accolades that you so justly deserve. We're truly fortunate to live in a city that is made safe by our public safety agencies. But that doesn't just happen. It is the result of a lot of hard work and great leadership. Today, I would like to recognize 2 of our public safety leaders who are winding up distinguished careers in the very near future. Jarrett, stand. Deputy Fire Chief Jarrett Hawley joined the Leawood Fire Department in 1989 and has served with distinction for more than 34 years. His entire career as a firefighter has been in service of the people of the city of Leawood. Jarrett will finish his career a week from tomorrow to head back to his farm to take care of his cows. Please stay standing, Jarrett. Dale. Police Chief Dale Finger has been in law enforcement in the state of Kansas for more than 50 years. In 2006, he retired, quotes around retired, from the Kansas Bureau of Investigation to become a captain in the Leawood Police Department. He was promoted to chief in 2021 and has led the department with distinction since. In 2023, he was the recipient of the Clarence M. Kelly Award for Excellence in Criminal Justice. Dale will conclude his distinguished career and head to the golf course on May 3rd. Please join me in thanking these two extraordinary leaders. And I'm just thankful that they stayed long enough to help teach me what fire protection and police protection in Leawood means. As I said, we're deeply indebted to these two gentlemen for their years of dedicated service to the city and the people of Leawood. Thanks to them and the dedicated professionals that they have led, we truly enjoy a safe city. There were many other highlights to focus on in the city of Leawood in 2023. However, several defining moments stood out for me. That is, in addition to my election. First, the governing body hired Diane Stoddard as city administrator in January 2023. She has proven to be a true leader and is doing an outstanding job in her role. Diane, will you stand and let us recognize you as well? Finally, longtime Mayor Peggy Dunn announced her retirement along with several tenured city council members. Collectively, they gave nearly 90 years of service and leadership to the city of Leawood as elected officials. Let's all give a big round of applause to the following outstanding leaders. I think I've got you all here. Andrew Osmond, if you would stand. James Azeltine, if you would stand as well. And Jim Rawlings, I know you're here too. These gentlemen, along with Peggy, as I said, gave over 90 years collectively of service to the city of Leawood. They're huge shoes to fill, but we're all looking forward to building on what they have already built. So please join me in welcoming them back. As in past years, Leawood continued to break records and be recognized for its achievements. We are once again recognized by Wallet Hub with their comparison of 1,300 U.S. cities with populations between 25,000 and 100,000 to determine the, quote, best small cities in America in which to live in 2023. They utilized 5 factors: affordability, economic health, education and health, quality of life, and safety. They then evaluated the nation's small cities using 45 relevant metrics, including cost of living, median household income, population growth, unemployment rate, school system quality, high school graduation rates, average commute times, restaurants per capita, and importantly, violent crime rate. We are proud that Leawood was ranked 29th in the nation among cities between 25,000 and 100,000. Recent data from the U.S. Census and its American Community Survey demonstrated that Leawood is among the wealthiest cities in the country, 41st in the U.S. to be exact. The median household income is $159,540 versus a national average of $71,186. In addition, 75% of Leawood's residents have bachelor's degrees or higher, compared to 38% of adults older than 25 in the Well, all these statistics mean a lot of work for the professionals that you saw stand up a few minutes ago. 2023 also brought a lot of exciting new projects and work to those departments. Throughout 2023, Planning Director Mark Klein and his team oversaw 67 cases brought before our hard-working Planning Commission. I have to admit, I was chairman for most of 2023, so they worked very hard. As a result of their work with the Planning Commission, led by David Coleman, we were excited to welcome several new additions to our community, including Aventino, a 63-lot planned cluster detached residential district at the southeast corner of 135th Street and Rowe Avenue. East Village, a mixture of single-family, twin villas, brownstones, apartments, retail, and office buildings located south of 133rd Street and east of Pawnee Lane. And Sienna Estates, a 9-lot planned single-family low-density residential district located at 138th Street and east of Mission Road. In addition, 84 new businesses opened in 24 developments throughout Leawood, and we're grateful for the assistance and the leadership that our Chamber of Commerce back there in the back of the room have given us in introducing these new businesses to the city of Leawood. Those businesses included the Homegrown, Hammer and Nails, Hair Salon, and Houndtooth, all in Camelot Court. Ricard Dumpling House and Warner's Stellian Appliances Store located in Cornerstone. St. Mary's University opened in the Leawood Executive Center. Aqua Pennies, Brew Cafe, Mission Taco, Smile Line Dental, and Sandlot Goods are all in or coming to Park Place shortly. And you can visit Pandora, Sandbox VR, and Whole Harvest in Town Center Plaza. To all of our new and existing businesses, I wish much success in 2024. Our Building and Code Enforcement Director, Travis Torres, and his employees all kept busy in 2023. Over the course of the year, they issued 134 commercial building permits and 1,697 residential permits. The value of these residential permits was nearly $97 million, and the value of the commercial permits was approximately $45 million, making the total value of additional construction in our community at about $141 million. In 2023, the city hired Don Cobby as the finance director. Mr. Cobby brings years of experience in state and local finance to Leawood. I'm happy to report that Moody's Investor Services once again reaffirmed Leawood's AAA bond rating. Leawood has maintained a AAA bond rating for over 10 years. This is the highest rating a city can receive and a clear indication of the sound financial condition of the city in Leawood. This achievement is a primary factor in keeping interest costs low, which in turn helps keep our property taxes low. Speaking of property tax, I'm also pleased to report that last year our governing body approved a reduction in the city's property tax rate, or mill levy, by 0.577 mils. Our 2023 mill levy rate was the fourth lowest in all of the 26 cities in the first class in the state of Kansas, and was the third year that we had reduced the mill levy. I'd like to give a special thanks to Don and his team for their sound financial management and their leadership to our city. Don? Our information technology department had a busy 2023 as well. Dylan Gentry was hired as the director in June, and he hit the ground running with his team to implement several new critical software applications, including Microsoft 365, cybersecurity, and advanced email security. The IT department currently manages the city's website, which had more than 42,000 visits, and the department managed over 2,600 IT support tickets. I am very thankful for Leawood's IT department and for all they do to keep the city's network infrastructure safe and secure. Thanks, Dylan. Public Works, probably the face of the city of Leawood that you see when you have the most need, is led by Director David Lay, and his team had another year filled with numerous projects. Pardon me. They administered almost $26 million in public construction contracts. Almost 10% of that amount came from outside funding sources. Again, taxes that we didn't have to pay. The department was also awarded almost $500,000 in state and federal funds to develop a comprehensive Vision Zero action plan, a strategy to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all. The department processed over 1,200 right-of-way permits and 4,000 utility locate tickets, an increase of 300%, mostly related to the Google Fiber build-out, which we all experienced, which is now 75% complete. So Google is almost done. In addition, our maintenance crews swept over 5,000 miles, removing close to 2,500 tons of debris, keeping it from entering our waterways and storm sewer pipes. Finally, the department was busy with Mother Nature, too. Due to the squall line storm that I described earlier on July 14, the storm debris drop-off site was open, and Public Works crews were able to pick up debris within 3 weeks of the storm. They also responded to 6 winter storms using 600 tons of salt to keep our streets safe and clean and to get our kids back to school sooner. Most recently, they distinguished themselves with a prompt clearing of Leawood streets after the winter snowstorm that hit us in early January. Soon, it will be time for them to fix those potholes that are the result of our Kansas winter weather. Human Resources Department Director Nick Sanders and his staff launched new employee tours as part of an orientation and an onboarding and began anti-Semitism training. And I was privileged to join in both the city tour as well as the anti-Semitism training, and it was top-notch. It's a great way, especially the tours of the city, are a great way for our new employees to get to know each other and for them to get to know their department heads. Because showing you how important our employees are to our management team, the department heads all sat on the bus with us for the whole tour and devoted the better part of an entire day to spending time with their new employees. And I think that says a lot about the environment that our employees work in. As a side note, I'm proud that Leawood was the first city in Johnson County to pass a resolution recognizing the growing problem of anti-Semitism in the United States and calling for the adoption of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism as an important tool to address that problem. Thank you, Nick, for bringing this important training to our employees. Another important initiative, which all of our employees here are interested in, is that the HR department undertook a classification and compensation study involving all benefit-eligible positions. This study will look at the market competitiveness of our positions. This is an important step to ensure the city can recruit and retain our excellent workforce that provide us so much in the way of municipal services. Speaking of recruitment, during 2023, the Human Resources Department took in almost 1,400 job applications and processed 88 recruitments, filling 66 positions. Our governing body will be considering the implications of that compensation study in the very near future, and adjustments will be made as indicated by that study. Chris Claxton, Director of Parks and Recreation and Arts, and her team had many items of note in 2023. Her department opened a new and much-needed restroom at the North Lake Trailhead on September 22, 2023. The Leawood Community Foundation provided significant financial support to that project. The Leawood Garden Club provided funding for a bench that overlooks the lake, and city staff will be planting landscaping as well as a variety of numerous trees in the spring. Yet another example of the collaboration and partnership between our volunteers and our professional staff. 7 years after the park's maintenance building was flooded, the team will soon be moving into a new facility located adjacent to the Public Works facility at 143rd in Overbrook. The team is very excited about being all together in the new space and firing up the new greenhouse as spring approaches. Be on the lookout for another open house available to the public to attend later this year. Staff is working to finalize plans for a new playground at Tomahawk Park, located between Mission Road and Tomahawk Creek Parkway on 119th Street. And once again, the Community Foundation is working to assist in raising funds for that. So if you have some extra dollars lying around and you want to contribute to a much-needed improvement, this is the oldest playground in the city park system, please see either Chris or Alice Hawk. They would be happy to accept your checks. In addition to the playground, there will be educational information as part of the project as it meanders into the wooded area at Tomahawk Park. Also in the works is a plan to replace the Lion Club shelter and shelters A and B in City Park. The new facilities will improve the experience of all users with the updated concession stand and restrooms near the Lee Wolf Dog Park. I know our dog owners are very happy to hear that. Since 2023 was a year-long celebration of Leawood's 75th anniversary, the governing body approved a 75th anniversary art piece designed by artist and former Leawood resident William Nemetoff. The monumental artwork, titled Reaching, is a contemporary interpretation of a tree, something, of course, that's very important and personal to all of us in Leawood, titled Reaching, to our city's 75 years of growth from an agricultural community to a distinguished place to both live, work, and play. The piece will be 27 feet tall and 40 feet wide and is proposed to be installed later this year. Parks and Recreation is the most visible of our city departments, and that team continues to bring amazing programming to our citizens. Brian Anderson has been a huge part of that program, including the marked bike trails that you see throughout North and South Leawood. And he has served us in many capacities in the Park and Recreation Department for the last 27 years. Seems to be a theme developing here as Brian announced that he would be retiring here in the next month or so. So with that, I would ask Brian to stand and please be recognized for his many years of service to us. Brian, thank you. Although the State of the City is meant to highlight the accomplishments of the past year, I'd like to take just a few more moments to brief you on several upcoming projects and priorities that the governing body and I look forward to in 2024. We have just finished the drafting of a resident satisfaction survey to let us know what you all think about the community in which you live, and that should be hitting many of your mailboxes in the next couple of weeks. That will inform the governing body and the mayor as we go into the strategic planning process for the city for the next 3 to 5 years. We will unveil a new website later this year that will provide even better access to information about the city. And as part of our theme of improving communications, we have announced an HOA President's Conference for April 21st. This will be an opportunity that will include, again, that three-legged stool. It will include our professional staff, it will include our volunteers, and it will include the City Council as we discuss items of interest to the homeowners associations and provide an opportunity for the homeowners associations to communicate directly with their City Council members as well as me and the professional staff. We very much look forward to that exercise. As I said, all this is to improve and expand our communication between the city and our residents. In closing, I want to thank all of our Leawood residents and each of you for the tremendous honor for serving as your mayor. While 2024 promises to be a continued time of transition in the city's leadership, I'm looking forward to building on the successes of 2023. Thank you all for the opportunity to serve as your mayor, and thank you all for coming this afternoon. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Good to see you. My name is Peter. They provided that delicious meal for today. And also want to thank our gentleman over here who's behind the camera from Act One Productions. They provided audio and video service today. Again, as Mayor said, please enjoy the rest of your afternoon.